My grandfather was the first one in my family to start growing some turkeys back in the 40s, and it was kind of a sideline, a bit of a mixed farm back then. And my father got into it more. I grew up working on the poultry farms a lot, learned to really enjoy the animals, and it was when I came to the age I absolutely wanted to farm. I always wanted to farm. I loved working with my dad and my uncles and all of that. And so that's when I said, you know what, I really enjoy the poultry side of things, and I wanted to get into the turkeys. So yeah, the barn you see in the background is a large barn. The BC turkey industry is actually regulated on how large you're allowed to get. So even though I'm one of the absolute largest, it's still a one-man operation. It's still a family farm, and we just don't really adhere to the thought that making farms really big is part of the fabric of how we want our communities to look. What I like about my particular setup is that during those brooding ages, under 6-8 weeks of age, you know, the birds are in a perfect climate for them to excel in. They're really shielded from any outside adverse climate conditions or any predators of any type like that. But then once they're fully feathered and they're ready for that outdoor environment, in my system they get to experience, you know, just the natural airflow, the natural daylight hours, all of that. It's a really nice facility to walk through, because although you're walking through a barn, the sides are completely open. You're feeling the natural breeze come through there. You know, the birds are rustling down in the shavings and the bedding, and it's just, you feel good about what you're doing when you walk through a barn like that. Yeah, so turkeys are raised very naturally. In fact, when I look back, you know, 40-50 years ago at the pictures of how my grandfather did it, not much has changed. You know, there's some environmental things that technology has improved on, but essentially we get the little baby birds at a day old, and we give them good feed and good clean water, and their genetics do the rest for us. You know, it's fairly simple. We keep them healthy, we keep them in a good environment, and they just grow and do what they do. People can drive by here and see the facility and go, you know, that's where I want my food to be grown, on a place that's clean and well managed and, you know, is taking care of its product. And I take a lot of pride in that, and people know where it comes from. They're not wondering, you know, did it come from some far off land with some other kind of health standards or whatever. You know, this is grown in BC, raised by BC people to BC standards, and I think that's important.